Hey, everybody. My name is Stephen Hensley. I'm the owner of the VFL real estate team, and welcome to Hey, everybody. Um, it's always hard for me to do this, and this time I'm going to put my foot down, and I'm not going to encourage everyone to like and subscribe, but if you want to do it, you're welcome to. If you ever have questions about anything to do with real estate, anything that our team does here around the Knoxville area, you can visit our website here at vflrealestate.com. Excited here. I've got a guest to share with you all, and a big guest at that. I got old Big Daddy Mark Mitchell here. Mark, how's it going?
Hey, it's going good. How are you?
Man, wonderful, wonderful. Thanks for coming on here. You've recently joined our team here within the last 12 months or so, right?
Yeah, about 6 months, really.
Yeah, so about six
Yeah.
months. And just got your license.
Yeah, October, end of
Yeah,
October. Started with you guys in November.
yeah. And then kind of before real estate, explain to everybody kind of what your background is.
Okay. After high school, I joined the Marine Corps. I'm a Marine Corps infantry veteran. I was in from 2007 to 2011. I did combat tours to Iraq and Afghanistan. Um, After my active duty, I went ahead and got out of the Marine Corps, went back home, went to school, got my bachelor's degree. From there, it was 2016. I moved here. I took a position at a federal facility that I won't name on here. And I was there for almost 10 years. I think just sports, deployments, wear and tear of the job and age. I started running some injuries past 5 years, and it started getting difficult to keep up with the standard of the job. And it was probably end of September. I looked at my wife. I was like, I think I'm gonna quit my job, and she was like, "Do it." So, and then I was like, I think I'm gonna go do real estate, and she was like, "Sounds good." So, started my classes beginning of October. Tested out first time end of October, and then started with you guys in November. So, and it's just been great.
Awesome, awesome. And kind of going into what we're going to talk about today, which is obviously you're a veteran, and thank you for your service. And one of the clients that we love helping the most here at VFL is our veterans. And a lot of people don't know a lot about those loans. It's kind of like everyone hears a little bit and they think something won't pass or won't do it, or they don't know how you can do it, or just because you serve, maybe think they're automatically qualified for something. So we're going to get in talking about some of the VA loans. But I guess before your real estate career, knowing what you know now, I mean, what did you think about veteran, like a VA loan, or what was some of the myths that maybe you've heard?
So, I've used it twice, once in Ohio and then once when I was down here. Both realtors that I used were actually great and informative. I guess one thing I didn't know is you actually have to have um, a certain certification to be directly involved with like a Veterans United or on their preferred list. But that being said, I guess maybe I thought that you had to have that to work with any veteran. But as I found out as I've been doing the real estate, is that I can just help anybody. Like I'm with our team, and it's a great team, but I've got like about 3 veterans that I'm working with, and it's just awesome that I get to not have that type of certification and be able to just get in there and help those guys. I really enjoy it.
Yeah. And it's funny that you kind of say that, because a lot of those companies that spend a lot of money on marketing, advertising on national television that claim they're pro veteran, you're now on the side of it to where you get to see the back end of it, and you have to work with some of them, and let alone actually see a little bit of the bait and switch when it comes to they kind of end up I don't want to say screwing the veterans. It's not the right word, but they definitely take advantage of them not shopping other lenders, especially mortgage brokers, local mortgage brokers that are usually going to crush those companies, and let alone just give a much better customer service and experience. So when you bought there, what was your lenders that you went with when you bought with VA?
So I did use Veteran United when I was down here. Yeah. So just coming into it, I actually knew, and I've been able to share my experience with clients, and it's really pushed them away from them. Fortunately, I have one I'm working with, and he's still kind of on the fence, but I feel like we're probably going to get there. So it was 2020. COVID had just officially got a name, and I went into contract in January of 2020. And we were looking to close in June. It was supposed to be a new contract or new construction out in Hard Valley. Probably about 30 days before closing, I get a phone call like, "Hey, we're not funding any government loans right now, just because of people, I guess, not working, and people were defaulting on loans. So they're just like, hey, we're going to put pause." And I was like, we cannot do that. Like, I am supposed to close. So definitely panic. Talked to my agent that I had. He's a family friend of ours. He was like, hey, use these people, local broker. I don't know if I should use them, or put their name on there, but local broker. She was great. Probably hadn't had us put together, financed probably within 2 weeks. I was fortunate to have a decent loan officer at Veterans United. He sent me everything, all the legwork that he did, and then I just sent it to the lady here, and she was able to get it together, and we were able to close on time. So, but definitely a panic. Definitely from your guys' experience I've seen, and then having it myself, it's like, yeah, we probably shouldn't use the big names. If you got to spend a lot of money to make people see you and come to you, it's probably for a good reason.
Yeah. So I guess what makes a VA loan kind of unique? Like what do they give veterans that some of these other loans don't provide or offer, I guess?
Okay. Yeah, there's actually quite a bit. So the biggest thing that everybody always attracts to is the no down payment. So you're 100% financed. It's government backed. So the lender doesn't require any down payments, which is great for veterans that could be on like a fixed income, say Social Security disability or veterans disability or VA disability. Really having that fixed income and not having to put that 3 to whatever % down to have your loan funded. Then another great thing is not having PMI, which is private mortgage insurance. And that's just another expense that is taken off of your monthly mortgage. So that's great. That saves money there. So the reason that's taken off is because it's a fully funded government loan. So the lender has protection in case of default or foreclosure. So you're able to drop that PMI off of your monthly payment. Very competitive rates. Usually they're about 1/4 to 0.5% lower than your conventional or FHA. And that just goes into what we had talked about too. Do your due diligence, shop your lenders. It's like, get the best rate for you. You're about to tie yourself up into possibly 30 years of something. It's like, you might as well use that 30 days after you've had your initial pull and get it pulled as many times as you'd like. And just shop the best rate for yourself. And then lenders are able to be, I would say, a lot more loose on their standards, their pre-qualifications. So they have that insurance and the loan being government funded. So, and the government doesn't put a minimum credit score on there. So it allows lenders to really help out the veteran. And they're not so much worried about foreclosures or bankruptcies. I think you got to wait 2 years, which is less than other loans. Another great thing is the closing costs are limited. Out-of-pocket expenses at closing are strictly monitored by the government and restricted. And there is a funding fee that is tagged in with the VA loan. But if you have a 10% VA disability or higher, that fee is waived. So you don't have to pay that. You don't have any prepayment what would that penalty? So you can pay that loan off as fast as you can, and you don't get hit with any additional fees. And then a cool thing that I found out, it's called assumability. So say I'm a veteran and I built in 2020, so I have a great home for a great price with a great interest rate. I need to move. Well, another veteran can actually come in, take over my loan, pay me cash for the equity, as long as it is cleared through the lender, and then they pick up my mortgage and the interest rate that I have, and they don't have to go into the current interest rate market. And also just the amount of resources that is out there for veterans when it comes to like money issues, financial issues, foreclosures. So you have the VA, which gives you great resources. Then you got like Wounded Warriors, you got DAV, Simplify Fund. There's just great resources out there to help you financially and to keep you from losing a home.
Yeah, no, I love that you mentioned there the assumability, as most people don't know that it does have to be a government loan in order for the loan to be assumable, and the tricky part with those assumable is always around that equity.
Right.
I've been really close a couple of times to where a veteran's got a 2.5% loan, and today's I don't know, what is today like a VA loan? Do you know what interest rates would be about?
This morning when I checked it, it was at 6%. So almost 0.5% under the conventional.
Yeah. And I've seen, veterans with a 2.5 and the buyer's shopping and they're getting a 6 and they're like, hey, it's assumable. But then, depending on how large that equity gap is and how much
Right.
down payment they have, if they can do that, man, I mean, you want to talk about just saving, especially in big price points, let alone hundreds, potentially for thousands off a mortgage payment and doing that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then just the money on the back end too for the price of the loan. I mean, you're saving probably hundreds of thousands on that aspect.
Yeah. And I know one of the things with the VA that's a little unique to some of the other loans, it requires a termite inspection as well.
Yes. So on both of mine, it's a requirement. So you have to have the termite inspection done. Most new constructions have been really good about doing the termite inspections just because they know that for the VA that they're needed. So, and it's just good doing that due diligence and putting that peace of mind for people.
Yeah. And now you mentioned there new construction you bought in Hardin Valley, right? That's where you still live at?
Yes, I'm still in Hardin Valley.
And when did you buy there?
2020.
2020. So kind of like right at COVID.
Yeah.
What have you seen Hardin Valley do in the last, I guess, call it 6 years?
6 years. You have seen developments go up and go up and go up. And it's great for the community. They probably need to work on the roads now that they've allowed so many houses in. It can get pretty crowded in there on the roads. But what's great about it, I think, is it is your suburb feel, but it's also got that rural feel to it still. There is still quite a bit of open land, farmland. You're pretty much on the end of West Knoxville. Like we're getting close right into Lenore City. So not too much more growth can go out past us. So, and it's quiet, not a bunch of ambient light. So it's like we can still sit out at night and look up. You can see the stars. It's got that suburb, like I said, rural feel. And I think that's going to be a big draw to people to keep bringing them to the area.
So I guess what do you think here? I mean, 2 reasons that you think the Hardin Valley area will continue to grow, because it's probably been on the fastest growth trajectory compared to any other place we've had here in Knoxville. And along with that is like, why do you think it's continued to be a desired location in the Knoxville area?
So I think the biggest thing is the schools. They've continued to be like A+ rated, not even in Knox County, but also in the state. They've got great programs there that other local school districts don't have, like their STEM program, their foreign language program. So it really attracts people to want to come to Hardin Valley and be a part of that school system. And then the next, I think the biggest thing is just kind of strategically where it's at. You're right off of Pellissippi. You're in the middle of Knoxville or Oak Ridge. Lenore City isn't far, so it's ideal location. Really, it only takes maybe 15, 20 minutes at most to depend on time of day to get to any three of those. Knoxville, Oak Ridge, Lenore City. So it's just very convenient and strategic.
Yeah, I love the location of Hardin Valley. It's I live kind of off the level road, Hardin Valley ish, kind of between Hardin Valley and really Cedar Bluff. I'm probably like right on the line there, and man, I love my location. Being from Morgan County, I can pop in and I can be back in good old Coalfield in like 30 minutes to get home, and then I can also be in downtown in like 15 minutes, 20 minutes. Like it's very, very convenient, but I do think the roads, there are times of days when I'm looking at it, how do I want to plan my logistical routing? Because I definitely don't want to be going through there when school's in and out.
Right.
I want to avoid those school zones. But you mentioned kind of the uniqueness of what Hardin Valley offers. And I remember when the school was created, and they were offering like all the kids from like Farragut and Carnes that maybe weren't school zone there. You could like go there, which was, I guess, different. I feel like now they've just nothing to do but tighten that school district and tighten it. But I mean, talk a little bit, I guess, more about that. Like what kind of makes them different as a little bit of a public school than maybe some of the other ones?
So the academy's been there for, I think, 20 years now. So that was before my time. But since I've been here, they've built the middle school. So that pulled more kids into when they created the zoning for that. And then they've now built the elementary school, actually two middle school or elementary schools that feed into Hardin Valley. It's the Mill Creek off of Pellissippi. And then you have the actual Hardin Valley Elementary. That's where my kids go. So really, because of growth, they had to really narrow down the zoning, and it was great that they built that new school across Pellissippi and kind of made the Pellissippi the dividing line. So it's really split it up and then allowed them to get more of not quite as good as private school, but that teacher to student ratio has drastically dropped from building that new school. And there's probably plenty of area and they're probably going to need to end up putting another middle school and possibly another high school in. So you really do get that private school, starting to get that good private school feel now that you've really pulled in the zoning for the district.
Yeah, I think educational, they do a lot of like college prep type stuff, and almost like while you're in school, you're kind of like going through the day in the life of kind of what that might look like. That gets kids very ready. So I know that's much appreciated. I know I've personally helped a lot of people move here that seek that Hardin Valley school zone location.
Right.
You really got to pay attention to it because sometimes, especially many years ago, the tax records weren't always updated to be able to do that. And I've, same time I've heard of people buying in a subdivision and then, a year later that subdivision getting knocked out of Hardin Valley. And a lot of people were upset about that.
Right. Just coming down when I was on the house hunt, it'd be crazy trying to find find the zoning. I think it's at North Shore on one side, you go to Bearden, but on the other side of the road, you go to West. I was like, I don't understand the zoning here. And it feels like they've tried to make it more sensible and really break it down better. But I think that's been the adding of schools. I think there probably wasn't enough schools at the time. And so they opened up the districts, and now they've really had to start narrowing the districts to keep the class sizes relative for education.
Yeah. Well, I think this has been real good to kind of talk about, those VA loans, talk about obviously Hardin Valley, the expansion from that. But I do want to just throw a complete curveball at you. And just because I'm obviously just an avid Tennessee fan, and I know you're not, how many games do you think Ohio State is going to lose this year? That's the question I'm going to ask you.
Let's see. If we're putting an over and under on it, I don't know. I think they still go into Texas and win. I mean, when you're a program like that, you reload, man. You don't rebuild. I mean, look at Arvell Reese. Kid's an absolute stud. If you've done anything with pro days or the combine, and he was a first-year starter this year. And so it's when you got talent like that you bring in top 5 classes every year, you're able to put a product out there that should win every game. And I'm going to stick to it every game, and then hopefully we score 100 on Michigan.
That is kind of a bucket list. And if I could pick it, honestly, I would rather do Michigan, Ohio State in the big house. It's just to say I've done it. I feel like that environment as a college football fan would be my choice.
I've been there. I went there when I was in school at Ohio State, and it's the way it's built. It's really open. So you would think for that many people, it would be crazy loud, but it's honestly not. That's what I was kind of shocked about it. But it is cool going and being part of that environment. We didn't really run into any like nasty people or anything. So it was. I actually haven't been to Neyland Stadium yet. I'd like to get tickets and go just to kind of get that. Okay, I know the shoe's loud. Now I want to hear Neyland too, because all you hear is like how loud it is. So I kind of want to experience that myself. And my wife's actually from here. She went to South Doyle. She's been to more Ohio State games than she has Tennessee games. We've been to 4 of them, and she's never been to a Tennessee game. So,
I know you've not been to a game. Have you been down and tailgated on campus for a UT game, like a SEC big game?
I was, where was I? I was, can't remember the exact location, but we were down there and you could hear the fireworks every time the score, when it was a score, and it was loud. It's always funny because I would tailgate at the shoe, and it was kind of the same thing. Where that delay is, we'd be sitting by the stadium and you'd hear all the cheering, and then it's like, oh, something happened. Like, what is it? Like, oh, it's a touchdown. So it's kind of a cool effect like that. So, being with the stadium that I'm used to, it seems like almost the same feel, you know what I mean? Just with size and capacity. And so it kind of feels like it's been unfortunate that they've been taking seats out to try to kind of bring in that higher price point.
Yep. Yeah, because we were up there competing with Michigan. I think we were almost 108 at some point. I know for sure 106, if not 108. And they've kind of beautified it there, and bringing in a little bit more of the donor money, which that's just the direction of
it's just how
is going. How do you think that Ohio State fan base compares to Tennessee's fan base now that you're kind of down here, in the Tennessee? And arguably, we've had a good, solid couple years. What's your thoughts there? Who's crazy?
I guess that's a hard question. Like, I think both fan bases are pretty passionate. What kills me is
that word that you replaced.
So what I've ran into a lot with is the whole, the SEC, we play in the SEC, and it's just like, okay, dude, like, it's the Big Ten is one of the last 3 national championships.
Before NIL, we could claim that. NIL, no, we don't.
That's funny. I guess once the bagmen went away and everybody got paid, the SEC kind of fell off. That's kind of wild.
Once everybody started to be able to do everything what SEC's been doing for a long time.
Yeah, I think that's why Saban saw the writing on the wall and just like, well, I'm going to go ahead and pack my bags. I'll be out of here.
All right, so off topic here. What's the correct way to eat a steak?
Oh, goodness. I feel like if you've seasoned, marinated, and cooked the steak right, you don't even need sauce. Like, I'm a knife and fork guy, and let the juices flow, sear it, and keep that stuff in there and keep it, I'm a rare guy, and if I'd like it bleeding when I'm eating it. So
man, I'm a A1 guy. I am.
Okay.
I can get some steaks at places where I can eat it with certain marinade and not. But man, I love A1. Like,
it is good.
Would I not want something on it that I enjoy?
Yeah.
Well, Mark, thanks for coming on. I'm sure the veterans and people that's been curious about VA loans definitely appreciate it. We obviously appreciate your service there. But want to thank everybody for watching the show here. As always, if you ever have questions about real estate, holler anytime.